All right, so here we're gonna show how to do like a bicep curl, the bicep bulge when the arm goes up. So let's see. Think about first the arm is this way, and I need to turn the hand so the hand is facing up to get the muscle bulge there. So think about where the rotation occurs in the hand. So the actual wrist rotates 180 degrees because my palm is facing down, and now my palm is facing up so that you can make the fist so that you can make the bicep curl there. So I've got to rotate my wrist 90 degrees. Whoops. So I'm going to use my wrist controller, and I'll rotate it. Oh, that's going to hurt. 90 degrees. And I may not need to do that a full 90 degrees because when you're rotating your wrist 180 degrees, you're actually getting some rotation from the shoulder, just the tiniest little bit, and you're getting rotation also from this joint a little bit. Most of the rotation of your arm occurs in the forearm to the wrist here. And so there's two bones, if you remember from your kinesiology, physiology class, there's two bones in here, and those bones are, like my bones right now, are this way, but then when I turn this way, now one bone is crossed over the other. So it's actually, I can do my fingers like that, it's like that. The bones are now crossed over each other, like that. Well, we don't have two bones in our forearm right here. We just have a single bone. So we have to deal with the rotation from a single bone there. But I still want to get that bicep curl. So I'm going to start, let's undo that one. Let's start with just a little rotation here. Just the tiniest little bit, because that's what we get in real life. Just a little rotation on the shoulder. A little more rotation on the elbow. Whoops. Why is my elbow not? Let's see. So it's rotating that way, and there we go. So the way this rig is set up, so I'm getting some rotation that way. Okay. And then I'll have to finish the rotation on the wrist so that the arm goes up a little bit right there. That was a little bit painful. So, I was looking at the back. No, I'm looking at the front side. Okay. So this is his left arm. So that looks good. All right. So that now, when let me see. I don't think I have IK set up on this one. That's okay. We'll do it without IK. You can do it with IK or FK. Either one's okay. So that now when I grab this and squeeze it up, notice the bicep doesn't do anything. So let's go ahead and let's make a change to this. All right, so I need to select my mesh, and we need to get into our blend shape editor. So Windows, Animation Editors, Shape Editor. And I'm just going to create a bulge here for it. So let's create a blend shape. And I'll just call this muscles. And I'll add a new target. And let's go into vertex mode. And I'm just going to select maybe these two. Right there. Press the B key. And then see if I can pull up on it. Let's see. Oops. And I'll probably need to pull up on that. And then maybe just a little bit over here. All right, just enough to show that it works. All right, so I kind of like that. That's the muscle bulge. I guess I'd put, there's not enough segments in there, to be honest. I'd put maybe a couple more segments in there if I was going to create a character with a muscle bulge there. So we'll call this one, what is that, left bicep. So I'm going to turn off my edit key, make sure it's back to normal there. Double click it in the left underscore bicep. All right, I like that. I could create more, but let's just go ahead and connect this one up. So I've got it in there, my shape editor, and then I want to connect that. So where is this? If I select, I'm going to go to object mode now. And if I select this, it's in my inputs. It's not an attribute here. So I need to make it an attribute. So once again, I'm going to close this. I'll go into my node editor. Let's see, what control do I want for this? So I'm going to hook it up to the controller for this elbow controller. So currently the only attributes that are showing are this rotate Y and the visibility. That's fine. I'm going to edit, add attribute, and I'll call it the long name. I'm just going to call it bicep curl. Bicep curl. Make it from 0 to 1, and say OK. So now it's got a bicep curl in there, but it's not hooked up to anything. So let's keep it at 0. So now I have to go into my my node editor. So Windows, and then go down into node editor. And I've got, let's see, here's muscles, and I want to add input-output connections into muscles. And there we see inputs, controls. That's not the one I wanted. Oops, where'd it go? Select my character, add it. There it is, Sammy character body. And I'll add the, let's see. Yeah, I've got the input, the muscles input on Sammy character body, so I need those connections. So I'm going to open up my input and output connections. Whoa, there's a lot. So I've got to go find, in here, I've got to go find those muscles inputs on here. Somewhere I've got muscles inputs. There's muscles inputs right there. I'm going to unroll these so that I can see the weight on them, and click the plus sign next to weight. And there's my left bicep right there. But I also want it to, so this time, instead of having well, let's see, a controller. Yeah, I said I wanted to put it on this controller right here. So I'm going to select so I've unrolled those. I'm going to put my controller right here. Let's get it into my node editor. So I've selected the elbow controller. I'm going to click the plus sign here, add selected node to graph. It's way over here. Right there. We're going to unroll that. There it is. And there's my bicep curl all the way down there. Can I click the middle one? Let's see. Nah. it does it in order, so it won't let me just do the last one. So does the elbow controller, does it stay to the right of muscles or does it go to the left of muscles?
Left.
Yeah, it goes on the left. Were you guessing or did you know?
I remembered it because it goes from the driver to the driven.
Yes, that is correct. So bicep curl goes into left bicep. So now they're connected. That looks good. I can either minimize or X out of this controller because we've connected it. So now when I take my elbow controller, and you can see I've got the bicep curl on there. So when I rotate, let's go into my E. When I rotate it, okay, good, but I haven't done my set driven key yet. So I just wanted to make sure it was still working. There's my bicep curl. Let's now go into key, set driven key. And the elbow is the, let's see, now I'm getting confused. The elbow is the driver. The elbow bicep curl is going to be the driver. And the driven is going to be the attribute. No.
Something else on the elbow would be the driver, and the driven would be the bicep curl. The bicep curl is driving the.
Yeah, it's the rotate. Let's see, the rotate here is going to drive the bicep curl there. That's what it is. So yeah, when the elbow rotates, it's going to drive the bicep curl on that. So I'm going to go ahead and key them the way they are. And now let's make our changes. So the bicep curl, make that 1. And for the rotate, we're going to rotate it there. Bicep curl will be 1. Whoops. Bicep curl. Did I already? There it is. Bicep curl. So now I'll key them again. Boom. So now what you'll see is that when the arm is rotated, got a nice bicep curl there. All right, so that was fun. So you should start to think about all the different ways that you could use this. So think about what if I was doing an animation? I'm going to go ahead and stop this. Well, here, just to give you some ideas. So some ideas where an animation might use this. Especially for facial, what if I was animating somebody playing a musical instrument like a woodwind or a brass instrument? They're playing trumpet and they blow their cheeks out, right? Louis Armstrong, when he used to play trumpet, he would blow his cheeks out. And so that would be one way you would want to do that. So it would be, I would use my blend shapes for creating those cheeks being puffed out right there. You could animate. I've seen cartoon characters that get allergies, bee stings, things like that, where parts of their face puff out. If somebody gets a black eye, things like that. Places they might need, bulges and things like that. What if I wanted to animate somebody's hand? Remember Popeye? Popeye had these huge forearms in his hands, and sometimes it looked like when he was getting ready to hit Brutus, his hand would get bigger. Boom! And I would use a blend shape to make his hand get bigger. I'd create a blend shape for that. And Popeye had lots of, whenever he'd eat his can of spinach, like his chest would get bigger, his arms, his muscles, his forearms, everything would kind of stretch and bulge and all that. And I would use blend shapes for doing all of that as well, setting that up. So I don't know if I've ever seen like a 3D animated Popeye.
They had a trailer for a movie they were making and they never made the movie.
Oh, okay. Did they show them like eating a can of spinach and bulging out? Oh, that would be interesting. I'll have to see if it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it turned into the emoji movie.
Yep.
Oh.
It was by Sony, yeah.
Yeah.
They had the Popeye and then scrapped it and they made the emoji movie, so.
Okay.
Waste,
Nice.
you know?
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah, David.
I was wondering, why would you use a facial rig instead of punch shapes for expressions? It seems like you almost always want to use punch shapes.
Why would you use a facial rig? You mean as far as like joints and things?
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's just one or the other. So there's been a time, let me go ahead and stop this.
Well, one, you can't simulate